drink champagne. I'm totally vibing. It's true what they say. It's all about timing.
Hi guys, and welcome to Unscripted. On this channel, I post anything and everything about my life, which is mostly vlogs. But I did commit to posting Western fragrances on a Wednesday. This was something that I decided to do because I do have another channel called C Chronicles Talking Scents where we talk about fragrances, but that channel took a niche direction where it thrives mostly when I talk about Middle Eastern fragrances. So I decided to move the Western fragrances to this channel, but only on a Wednesday. So welcome to Western Wednesdays, guys. And if you're new here, please do consider subscribing if you haven't. And if you're returning, thank you so much for the continued support. Today I've put together my favorite celebrity scents. I was on a roll buying celebrity scents for a while, and then because celebrity scents keep bringing flankers and flankers and flankers, I thought, okay, I think I have what I have and I'm going to take it easy. So the ones I'm going to show you are my favorites, really, starting with this one, guys. This is Adam Lavine Women. We're going to spray it quickly here. I'll pick a fragrance, tell you my thoughts about it, and then we move to the next one. Now, this is a woodsy, sweet, spicy type of fragrance there with a touch of sandalwood. I feel if this fragrance had just taken it up a notch on the sandalwood, it would have had that richness and more depth. I think that's the only thing that's missing in this fragrance. Otherwise, it is pretty much an enjoyable fragrance. Does feel a little bit to my nose like Tom Ford's Santal Blush. I think I could be wrong, but I think that is where the inspiration was kind of coming from. It is a warm fragrance, quite comforting there, with tamed spices. You can feel the spices in this, but they do not come across as the star of the show. It just comes up as a wrap-up of this nice woodsy, warm, comforting scent. Okay, so this also gives me unisex vibes. Lasts about 5 hours. That's why I said I think if Adam Lavine, if he had decided to amp it up a notch there, this would have been one of those fragrances that lasts the whole day. So for now, I get a 5-6 hour type of fragrance, but very enjoyable there. It's the first one on the lineup, Adam Lavine Women. The second one, guys, is going to be from Nikki Minaj, and this is Onika. If you follow Nikki Minaj, you will know that she's got like a lot more. I think there's one with a pink hair and all sorts, but this is the one that actually spoke to me, and this is my second bottle. I purchased the first one, ran out of that one, and went and I purchased the second one. But of course, if I'm gonna purchase another one, I might just need to change and buy something else, because now she's got a lot more. Now I'm gonna spray this one here, right, and then I'll tell you my thoughts. Okay, Onika, right, is one of those fragrances that drew me in because it was easy to like. It's a serving of fruits, florals, citruses, so it kind of gives you like a bit of tropical, a bit of freshness from that citrus, and then there is that sweetness of the pear that adds like a fruity tone to this fragrance. It feels to my nose like just a perfectly balanced fragrance that's very easy to like. This is also a compliment magnet, guys, because it does have somewhat of an enormous sillage there and leaves a trail. However, in as much as it does have that enormous sillage, it is unfortunately one that you may have to reapply after about 6 hours or so. It doesn't last the whole day, I'm gonna have to be honest with that, but it's one of those pretty damn easy, rich sort of fragrances. So it's the second one on the lineup, guys, from Nikki Minaj, and this is Onika. And then of course there's a Billie Eilish. If you are one for aesthetics, this bottle is a trap. You're most likely going to want this bottle, right? Now, this is built around that cacao note. So it's going to be very chocolate forward there. It is a soft chocolate, at least to my nose. This is a chocolate that a mature person can wear. It does come across as a very easy fragrance that you could gift a young person, but it is a chocolate done in such a way that it doesn't make it like that thick chocolate factory type of situation. You will get the chocolate prominent, yes, but I'm saying it doesn't give me a heady feel of a chocolate. That chocolate is wrapped around a tone of spices, a little bit of some woodiness there, making it very easy, even, you know, for somebody who's way mature to love this fragrance. Okay, but definitely make sure you love chocolate fragrances before you run for this one. This one also gives me winter vibe, although it can transition to any other season. I'm not saying I wear this one in winter only, but I'm saying the composition in itself, the mix in itself, comes across as that quintessential fragrance that you want to reach for, especially in cool to cold weather. Feminine to my nose, that's what I get. But if you're a man and you like chocolate fragrances, then this could probably do. It lasts up to 8 hours. So this is Billie Eilish, the third one on the lineup. Now, fourth on the lineup is going to be Pure Brilliance from Celine Dion. Okay, now I know this is a mini, but I'm confident enough to bring it to you here because I hoarded these minis, guys. I found them going for a song and I just thought, oh, let me just buy that and see how it turns out. She also has another one called Sensational and a host of other fragrances, actually, if you are into Celine Dion. Now, I just came across this. I love Celine Dion, of course, but I just came across this fragrance and the Sensational, and I sprayed that, and those were the two that kind of like spoke to me, right? Now, when it comes to Pure Brilliance, guys, expect a dumb reach of a fragrance. This is a mix of fruits and florals. There's going to be a bright sparkling apple there that's going to make it fresh, even a little bit of aquatic to some noses there. And as much as it has florals in the quads, by this I mean I think it's got lily, it's got freesia, it's got honeysuckle, it's got lily of the valley as well. It doesn't turn into like an outright floral. So those florals don't pull it to become a green fragrance. It just maintains its freshness there. And it also lists a peach. But just to clue you up, don't buy this one if you're looking for a prominent peachy type of fragrance, because this just becomes about that bright, crispy apple and underlying florals, right? Unfortunately, another one that you may have to reapply, but there are some here that you really don't need to reapply. So this is not something that I'm going to be saying with each and every fragrance. I'm just saying this is another one that you have to reapply. This is gorgeous, guys, in the heat, but do not expect massive performance here. It gives me feminine vibes. It's called Pure Brilliance by Celine Dion. Number 5, guys, is Sarah Jessica Parker's Stash. Now look at the bottle, guys. Look at the bottle. I just love how simplistic it is without pushing boundaries and stuff. She's got another one, but I'm yet to smell that one. This is the original Stash. Now on Stash, guys, Sarah Jessica Parker was ahead of time. I say this in a very good way. She gave us an artistic, complex scent at a celebrity cost. This gives me niche vibes, something that our celebrities are only waking up to now, but unfortunately their prices are not what you would have dropped on this one. I mean, if you look at the Fenty by Rihanna, you gotta pay 100 plus there on that particular fragrance, and the other one by Beyonce is costing an arm and a leg, right? So Sarah Jessica Parker gave us brilliance in a bottle at an affordable cost. It is rumored that this one, it has been discontinued, but if you can get your hands on this one, guys, I'd say go buy it. However, it's a complex scent. Expect a warm, spicy, aromatic, woody tone of a fragrance there with that mix of the sage and black pepper and the patchouli. And then to top it off, there's a pistachio that weighs in here with a light greenness. So this is not a fragrance that you can outright pinpoint and say, I'm just smelling this only, right? It's also, again, a fragrance that I feel is going to interpret differently from person to person. Another fragrance that may need testing before you purchase. This may be an outright hate or an outright love. But if your nose is accustomed to the unconventional way the fragrances can be done, then you are not going to have a problem with this. Absolutely gorgeous scent in a bottle there. It does scream a bit mature to my nose, and this is unisex, so anyone can wear this, but very artistic, very unique and complex is a Sarah Jessica Parker's Stash. And it's the 5th one on the lineup. Another good one, guys, or at least to my nose, is Katy Perry's Indie. She has got another one called Indivisible or something, but I just have the original Indie, guys. This fragrance is you may need to smell this. Honestly, you may need to test it, because if you just buy it off what I'm saying here, it might confuse you. Okay, it's florals meet white tea, so it's going to be aromatic there. It's got that cedar as well, adding that aromatic tone to this fragrance, and then it becomes about all the musk you can think of. All the musks you can think of. I think there's 5 musks that she added here. There's white musk, there's Egyptian musk, there's black musk, there's island musk, and then there's the basic musk. So this fragrance is a musky fragrance, but do remember that it does have that cedar and the moss that give it some weight. So it's not just going to interpret as your basic powdery, musky type of scent. It's going to have some complexity in it. Very good one, this, okay? Very good one, but another one that I feel may be complex, especially if you're young, okay? If you're young, and by young, I mean, say, if you're in your teens, this you might find a bit complicated there, but I personally love it. And it's also one fragrance that, say, for instance, you sprayed for the first time and it was a bit weird to you. It has that thing that draws you in. You know, where you just wake up one morning and you're like, I think I could spray that again. You know, so that's what happened to me, okay? When I tested it for the first time, I thought, I had mixed feelings about it. But it's the twist to that musk that made me love, you know, this fragrance. And yes, it's the 6th one on the lineup, guys, of my celebrity fave fragrances. Now, this list wouldn't be complete, guys, without Elizabeth Taylor, all right? Or any Elizabeth Taylor, if you will. I'm going to bring you the Elizabeth Taylors because I think I'm going to add maybe 2 more this month. I'm going to try and bring you like the host of them. But anyway, today we are talking about this one. And I would have brought you this one as well. Okay, let me just show you the 2, okay? These from Elizabeth Taylor fragrances. If you don't have White Diamonds Luster, and if you don't have an Rouge, guys, please try and get your nose on them. Try and sniff them. The thing with Luster, right, is it doesn't give you that quintessential kind of Elizabeth Taylor White Diamonds DNA, but it's there, just in the background, right? This is built around raspberry and a very concentrated take on that fruitiness. It comes across as very thick there. It does have citruses, but you might find yourself not even being able to detect the citruses. What I get mostly is the raspberry and a very sweetened pear mixing with the white florals there. And then it has the vetiver, it has the orris root and the sandalwood, and those give depth to what would otherwise have been just a fruity scent. This fragrance is thick in its presentation. I'm going to give you an example that is offside, okay? So don't take it and say, I said this fragrance smells like hypnotic poison. It does not. Why I'm giving you hypnotic poison as an example is hypnotic poison's juice comes across as very deep and thick, right? And heady. It doesn't come across as light and that is the sort of vibe that I get from here. It has nothing to do with hypnotic poison, but I am saying if you love DNAs that interpret like that, like very thick, like very heady there, very concentrated, that's what you're going to get from Luster as well as from Un Rouge. So these are the 2 staples, guys, in my collection when it comes to the Elizabeth Taylors that I can absolutely say, try add one of these to your collection. I know she's got a lot more, and I do have about maybe 10 more, but these 2, you can even blind buy. They won't disappoint. They do give me, however, a very feminine feel to them. Or if you are open-minded as a man, you could possibly pull them off. Both fragrances last till the next wash. So these are 2 celebrity scents that are not going to cost you much, but are going to be value for money in terms of what you get from them, because a little goes a long way. So Elizabeth Taylor fragrances are heavy. She does have some from her line that are quite light, but those 2, I get very, strong fragrances that last till the next wash. So I just presented both as number 7. Now, as for number 8, guys, let us talk about Fenty. Now, this is one celebrity fragrance that if you love a complex celebrity scent, if you love something that's very well made, that doesn't feel like it's just one of those over-the-counter, mass-produced, crowd-pleasing, not even department store, even supermarket type of fragrances, you may want to get your hands on this one, right? But remember, I said Sarah Jessica Parker was ahead of time, because this juice could very well sell in the hundreds, this particular one. But I guess, they hadn't had that mindset at the time to jump onto the bandwagon and present what they call special editions of whatever. Like, you want something that you feel Rihanna herself would actually wear, because there are some of these celebrity fragrances that nah, you're not gonna wear that. I get that a lot from some of the fragrances from Beyonce, especially the Heat. That line. I mean, you just tell yourself, Beyonce wouldn't wear this. If she does, she does. But I just get a feeling that she wouldn't wear that. Now, with Fenty, you get a feeling that Riri would wear this. With this, you get a feeling that Sarah Jessica Parker would wear this, as well as Katy Perry's Indie. Billie Eilish. And that's Adam Lavine. I do see Adam Lavine himself or his wife wearing this, and I'm saying that with all due respect. I'm not saying the rest are trash. I'm just saying there are some celebrity fragrances where you can see that it was just like almost like a money grab, if you will. Now, anyway, as for Fenty, let us spray Fenty on this tester paper, and of course, I'll tell you my thoughts. This followed by Stash, followed by Luster from the lineup, are my utmost favorite. I love Fenty, guys. If you haven't put your nose on this, try it. This is a jammy rose together with the blueberry, mixing with an underlying incense. Very complex there. It feels sweet, very sweet. This is unisex to my nose. I can see a man pulling this off, although 80% of the women are going to claim that this is feminine, and I do agree. But let's say men can totally wear this if they want to, right? Very complex, a bit mature there. If you have a problem with it, it might just be the fact that it does come across as a bit mature. Quite nostalgic to me. There's something in here that is just, maybe it's just that soft incense and that aromatic tone. Something in this jammy rose, guys, is very nostalgic to me. Makes me feel as though I've smelled this before, or I've lived in some Hollywood life before where I was smelling like this. And you can actually envisage some celebrities on the red carpet actually smelling like this. This is really nice, guys. And I'm not saying it because it's a limited edition of Rihanna or whatever. I actually intend to add Rebel Fleur in my collection, because I'm going to try and contrast this with some of the fragrances that she gave us before, so that, guys, I give you my honest take as to what changes were made and what. And I know that this, she worked with Louis Vuitton, but I just want to see whether, this whole thing of some of the celebrity fragrances being released for the money grab is a correct narrative, where I'd love to smell the Rebel Fleur and the rest of them to just see whether I can judge and say, I think she would have actually worn that, if you know what I mean. Ninth on the lineup is going to be Ariana Grande's Cloud. Okay. Ari keeps on giving us these bottles, guys, that are really not so environmentally friendly. I know these are recycled plastics, but I think we would be okay even with just getting the fragrance like this. I'm just being honest, okay? So I'm just putting the holder on the side because it doesn't even clip. It just is a holder there. Cloud looks like this. We're going to spray it again on a tester paper there, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts, although of course I use this all the time, so I know how it smells like, right? Now, this is or was created in typical Ariana Grande style of fragrances. I've got about 6 Ariana Grande fragrances within my collection, and I kind of get like a uniform vibe, like a uniform kind of staple DNA in all of them that I get even in here, that she loves her fragrance built around a very sweetened, youthful type of DNA there. Now, Cloud is built on whipped cream. There's present here vanilla orchid as well as some coconut, and it makes for a youthful, fluffy, marshmallowy, creamy type of fragrance. The name Cloud itself is very befitting there because it does feel like a fluffy, like that. It just gives you that illusion of a fluffiness in your head. So yeah, it is also a fragrance that is a fave of mine from a celebrity. It has that underlying BR 540 thing going on around it without being exactly a 100% clone. But if you love that BR540, they did throw in something there that feels like it was the inspiration, that made this fragrance. But yes, in a nutshell, it gives me youthful vibes, something that you can purchase even for a very young person. Very girly, especially very girly, sweet, marshmallowy. And this one also lasts a good, I'm going to say maybe 10 hours even. It depends on the number of sprays, but it is a very long lasting one, okay? And it is the 9th one on the lineup. So we're going to put it back in its holder right there, Ariana Grande's Cloud. And then on number 10, guys, is Lady Gaga's Fame, and this is Black Fluid. This one has been discontinued, so if you can get this one, good for you. But if you can't get it, it's not like you'll be missing much, really. But this again is my own. This is just my own opinion. This juice looks intimidating. I've had this one for a couple of years in my collection, but it was a juice that was okay to me. I was expecting fireworks, guys, considering that this juice was listed to have incense there, some fruits there, an apricot in there, but it just comes across as a soft, seductive fragrance, especially with that apricot interpreting as very soft with an underlying lactonicness to it. And it doesn't have like an obvious lactonic note in it, like maybe milk or something, but I think it is maybe the apricot that weighs in as like a lactonic wrap up of everything. So that is what you get from this juice, guys. It's not as intimidating as it looks. It kind of has that crowd pleasing soft appeal to it, screams youthful, young, crossing over to even the old if you want. It does cross over to that. A mature person can wear this, but nothing really outstanding. Like, for the record, it's here because I like it, but say I finished it, I wouldn't really rush to repurchase it. I checked online and I noticed that some of the sellers, guys, are going crazy when it comes to the price for this. I think what they're really selling, guys, is the bottle more than anything else. And the other thing that could have contributed to my underwhelmedness is the image of Gaga herself. I mean, she's daring. She's got the intimidating look. She doesn't tone it down when it comes to fashion. She breaks boundaries and stuff. So I was expecting something really out there, and what I got was a tamed, crowd-pleasing scent. I'm not saying it's awful. I'm just saying it's not what I expected. It's just crowd-pleasing and nice. One of those nice, polite fragrances. So it's Black Fluid, also known as Fame, from Lady Gaga, sitting on our number 10. The 11th one on the lineup, and the last one, is going to be James Bond 007 Women 3. If you are an OG coming from my old channel and you've been there for the past maybe 2-3 years, you will know that I did feature this as one of the fragrances that I had a lot of backups of. I bought about 4 of this, and this particular one is my last one. I use it as a bedtime scent, not because there's a problem with it, no, but because it's one of those easy kind of comforting scents. Now, this is a sweet, fruity, floral. The note pyramid will have you guessing or thinking it's going to be very tropical leaning, but that is not exactly what I get. Why I say the note pyramid will have you thinking it's going to be along the tropical, even maybe, suntanny type of fragrance, is because it has pineapple listed as a note, frangipani there, ylang you would think it's going to be buttery and creamy, also has a sandalwood listed there. So I don't know whether those are just notes that they thought to drop there or they're actually there, but I do not get any, papaya that they've, well, maybe papaya, let me just correct myself, maybe that papaya, maybe a little bit of ylang, but it doesn't interpret as tropical to my nose. It's just, in a nutshell, comes across as a clone of Lancome's Hypnose, especially the EDT. That is what I get as a roundup in the fragrance, in as much as it has all these yummy, sorry, I put the paper aside. Yeah, in as much as it has all these yummy notes that build it up. It is sweet, it is feminine to the nose, but Do not buy this expecting like a prominent tropical or even creamy buttery type of fragrance or banana-y type of fragrance because of that ylang, or you like your sandalwood and you think it's going to take you on a creamy journey. I do not exactly get that. I just get something that feels very much close to Lancome's Hypnose, and a fragrance that on about 10, 12, even 15 sprays is going to last, I'm going to say maybe 6-7 hours. Okay, so this is just an easy go-to fragrance. Do not expect beast performance from this, but I love it nonetheless. It's James Bond 007 Women 3, and it's the last one on the lineup. So that's it, guys. That's what I had for Western Wednesdays for this week. After this, expect, of course, some vlogs and daily life as usual that we feature on this channel. I'm going to drop another Western series, of course, next week. C Chronicles is my name, and this has been Unscripted. Please do turn on post notifications if you haven't. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Now, if you like Middle Eastern fragrances and clones, please check out C Chronicles Talking Sense. The link is in the description. And while you're at it, like and share this one. I love you guys as always, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.